building up. I've been starved of tennis in the last few days at Kooyong. We've just seen Jürgen Melzer get over Joe Wilfried Songa in a shortened match, so that Gael Monfils will face Jürgen Melzer later in the day. Monfils, after shrugging off some cobwebs early in his opening day encounter, got there in the end and is looking pretty good after not playing an event leading up to the Australian Open. So it will be Nikolai Davydenko to serve. Opening game of this semi-final.
Ready for play, first sets. Nikolai Davydenko to serve.
Just clarifying something that the players did ask the chair umpire whether it was the best of three, after the chair said that it was a pro set, but it's been clarified it is the best of three sets.
Nikolai Davydenko is definitely still one of those players that, is he going to win a major or not? When he has the game, he really does.
Seconds up.
What's the missing ingredient, do you think, with Nikolai?
Well, I'm not sure if there's a missing ingredient or if it's just the fact that he's been up against Roger Federer so many times. You know, Roger Federer seems to have his number, but I think sometimes the serve, actually. I think he needs to serve a little bit better than he has throughout his career. But
first game.
Looking at the previous meetings between these two, Hewitt has a 4-zip record over Davydenko, but haven't played for something like 4 years now. Their rivalry goes back to 2001 at Roland Garros and stretches to 2007 in Hamburg on clay, predominantly 3 of the 4. So that's a pretty good record when you consider that Hewitt's not a natural clay courter.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of explains the problem right there, I think, for Nikolai Davydenko. He's up against somebody like Hewitt who's won 2 majors, and I think he just has a little bit too much respect for these guys. Respect them off the court, not on the court.
Look.
Of course, Hewitt has Tony Roach back at his coaching camp. Real positive for the Australian number 1.
All.
Well, that's what we think Leighton Hewitt has to do these days, is come forward more often. But it's amazing how the guys are hitting the ball just a little bit harder every year, and it makes it just that little bit harder to volley.
It's a beautifully measured forehand by Davydenko. So economical off both wings he is.
Well played, Hewitt.
30-40.
Really important to win those kind of rallies against Davydenko, where he doesn't feel too comfortable.
Davydenko very aggressive on that break point, pushing into court. He's drawn Florian Meyer in the first round of the Australian Open, so that's a winnable contest.
Yeah, that's a winnable contest, but Florian Meyer is playing some good tennis down in Sydney, and he's a very awkward player to play against and to watch. So it's not an easy round. Both of these guys have tough first rounds. Such an underrated serve, Leighton Hewitt serve, especially that
Advantage.
slice
Hewitt.
serve in the deuce court. Makes that 19 times out of 20.
Game, Hewitt.
He's on the board, not after a struggle though, so 1-1 first set. Fans are really starving for some top quality tennis and hanging their hat on Leighton Hewitt for this year's Open, although it's actually spending a bit of time with Sid Ball last night, Carsten Ball's father and coach, talking about the big left-hander's run. He's ranked outside the top 100, but in the main draw, so perhaps ever so often there's a bit of an upset at the Australian Open. One player goes to the second week and provides the fans with some great thrills.
That's up.
Well, Carsten Ball definitely has the game to worry a lot of players in the draw. That's just the difference these days in the men's game, is it very difficult to come to the net on an old-fashioned classic slice backhand, even though that's what Tony Roachmans probably wants him to do, but you just have to be a little bit lucky and can't be against Davydenko.
Net!
Now you would know this, Matt. Am I correct in saying you're the only men's player to win Australian Opens both on the grass at Kooyong and at the hard surface at Melbourne Park?
That's right, yeah. I think that's the last record standing for me. They've all been taken out. It was kind of a strange time when they moved from Kooyong over to Melbourne Park. I remember in 1988, I think all the players were kind of not really sure if this is the right thing to do.
Oh, brilliant.
Such a clean hitter of the ball, Davydenko.
Well, you just see the ability of Davydenko to flatten out
40-15.
both wings. That's why many people believe that, well, not so much he should have won a Grand Slam, but he's got the game to win one.
Oh, definitely. He likes pace, so he plays well against most players. And I think that's why he has problems against Federer, because Federer knows how to give him no pace.
direction balls hits. By the points.
Overall by the chair. So point replayed 40-15.
40-15.
Of course, no Hawkeye at this tournament. There will be at the Australian Open.
And that really has been the biggest problem in his game, Nikola Davydenko. Some reason that second serve goes off sometimes.
Good hitting from both players. That's the type of rally that Hewitt has been moulding his game on early season, just to get that type of rhythm back in his ground stroke play.
Well, I think that's what he needs to do these days, is to stand his ground and stay pretty close to the baseline and play a similar game to what Davydenko does. So hit the ball a little bit flatter, take a few more chances.
Advantage, Davydenko.
The interesting thing of this tournament is that it's no ordinary exhibition. It's the week before a major, and really no one wants to lose any points or any matches. So these guys are out there at 100%.
Game, Davydenko.
So after a struggle, Davydenko holds serve games on serve first set. Davydenko leading by 2 games to 1.
2 games to 1. First one to open, Trevor. Time.
It is day 3 of the 2011 Amy Classic. Nikolai Davydenko leading 2-1, but games on serve first set. Great pleasure to have 7-time Grand Slam singles champion Mats Wilander with us in commentary on day 3. Hewitt serving at 1-2. We've seen a shortened contest before this match, with Jürgen Melzer beating Joe Wilfried Songa to face Gael Monfils in the semi-finals.
Love 15.
And interestingly enough, Jürgen Melzer, Mats now coached by a former Davis Cup teammate of yours, Joachim Nyström.
Yeah, well, he's my doubles partner too,
Yeah.
actually, when we played, and basically he was my best man in my wedding too. So yeah, no, I've spent some time with him here, and he's doing a really good job with Jürgen Melzer. Jürgen Melzer has really come on the scene in his later years, and is one of the most dangerous players on tour these days. Mainly because he's left-handed, but also because he hasn't won anything, and he's fresh, and he doesn't have that losing record against most of the guys in big matches. think that's the kind of hurdle that's hard for
15,
Nikolai
30.
Davydenko to get over, is that he's been in the semifinals of all the majors, lost to Federer pretty much every time. And how does he take another step? Whereas Jürgen Melzer, I can see him take it all the way.
The margins are fine for Davydenko, going for depth off the ground, but I suppose with Melzer, he's a case in point of someone that perhaps in the past hasn't quite controlled his emotions on the court.
Yeah, he's definitely been helped by the calm Swede in this corner. Players develop at different times of their careers. It's very interesting. He's a really good junior player, Jürgen Melzer, and then he was a good player in his mid-20s, but nothing special. And he always had the potential. And
40-30.
And you look at somebody like Leighton Hewitt, who was most probably much stronger mentally when he was 17, 18, 19 years old than he is now. Even though he's most probably thinks he's a better player now, he's not anywhere close in the mental department, I think.
Game, Hewitt.
Backhand pulled wide, so 2-all first set. I can remember, actually, I was commentating Leighton Hewitt's first tournament victory in 1998 at the Australian Hardcourt when he beat his future coach Jason Stoltenberg in the final, and an Andre Agassi on the comeback trail in the semis. And the clothes literally, Mats, looked like they were falling off his body. He looked like he was wearing a shirt 3 sizes too big.
Yeah, well, he was very skinny, wasn't he? Very small when he was young, Leighton Hewitt.
Love.
Really a good person to watch and learn how to hit the ball properly, Nikolai Davydenko. Unbelievable footwork. Just rushing it here a little bit, Nikolai Davydenko. It does seem like he's a little bit worried about the fact that Leighton Hewitt, he can't push Leighton Hewitt back behind the baseline. He's a little bit impatient sometimes.
Oh, tremendous forehand. Again, just inside out, found the corner, and Davydenko was providing a lot of humour before the event at the pre-event press conference. He was speaking about the victory over Rafael Nadal in Doha, and he shrugged his shoulders and said, "Oh, just in a day's work." And we rush to the record books and we see he's got a winning record over Rafa, 6-4. So he's one player that can hurt the Spaniard.
Incredible, actually. I didn't think he had a winning record.
All.
In fact, the last 4 times I've played Nadal and Davydenko, it's been Davydenko victorious. Shanghai, London, and twice in Doha.
start
40,
realizing
30.
why Leighton Hewitt still thinks he can win a major, and he has 4-0 against Davydenko. So differences are so small between Leighton Hewitt and Rafael Nadal, even though sometimes the scoreline lies and it's a 6-2, 6-2, 6-2 match. It's not at all that easy.
Game, Davydenko.
So an ace down the tee for Nikolai Davydenko. His second in the match.
Davydenko leads 3 games to 2.
And he leads by 3 games to 2. Games on serve in the first set.
Time.
So games on serve, first set, the opening semi-final on day 3 of the Amy Classic. All roads lead to Melbourne Park, but this is a very important stop along the way in preparation for Leighton Hewitt. Important matches for Nikolai Davydenko, who had wrist problems in 2010. Also crucial times as well after he made the final in Doha.
Love.
He's definitely standing closer to the baseline, Leighton Hewitt. You can tell here. Just caught the line.
30 love. Love.
Healthy first serve percentage, 71% for Leighton Hewitt. A little bit low for Nikolai Davydenko at 50.
Game, Hewitt.
Holding to love, Leighton Hewitt, 3-all in the first set. And what's the next fortnight
3 games all.
hold for you, Mats, when you head? There's Rebecca Leighton's wife. Are you recounting the glories of past years in the Australian Open? You know, speaking functions, or just playing pretty low key?
No, I'm doing a lot of commentating and playing the Legends tournament the second week. But no, I'm not reminiscing about my career at all. Those days are long gone. I really enjoy being at the majors, because when you're commentating and you're talking about the actual tournament, you feel like you're playing against everybody, and you are everybody at the same time, and you try and find flaws and what's working in everybody's game. So I find it really really exciting.
Well, that's when Leighton Hewitt's feeling confident, when he can run around and
Love 30.
crack the forehand like that. Just what you mentioned before, Matt, prepared to sit on the baseline and present an attacking posture.
No, definitely, and it'll take away a little bit of rhythm for his opponents, because sometimes when he doesn't allow them to sleep, they get very comfortable against Hewitt.
Love 40.
Again, Davydenko looks a little bit rushed here and is slightly impatient.
Credit to the movement of Leighton Hewitt there, breaking the Davydenko serve to
New
Love.
balls, please.
So the Australian leads with a break by 4 games to 3 first set.
Hewitt leads 4 games to 3. Time.
So suddenly the pressure on Nikolai Davydenko after Leighton Hewitt broke the Russian to Love in the previous game. We're mentioning about statistics and the fact that Davydenko's got a winning record over Rafael Nadal. Well, Hewitt's got a 4-love record over his opponent today, so numbers can be a little bit bemusing sometimes, but you can only play your opponent, and he's doing it very well so far, Hewitt. After an opening day win over Mikhail Yuzny, he's looking for a place in the final.
Interesting to see how Hewitt plays this game here. He's serving with new balls. This is a big game if he can hold here, and he has a chance to serve for the first set. So
Love 15.
just a little bit tight on that backhand.
all.
This is kind of where you can tell if Leighton Hewitt thinks he can win or not. If he thinks he can win, he would usually go for a slice serve. He thinks he can win.
It's a clear indicator.
Well, because then he plays within himself. If he goes for the big one down the tee, that means he needs to take more chances than he wants to.
30-15.
Just a couple of unforced errors helping, or from Davydenko helping Hewitt's cause here. There's this count 7-1. It's pretty unlike Nikolai Davydenko.
30-all.
Good to see that both guys are feeling the tension in this kind of match. This is where I'm clueless though, David.
Are you?
What does he go for here?
It's twice Davydenko's let Hewitt off the hook in this game. Cheap points. is out.
Game, Hewitt.
So Hewitt has held serve with a bit of a struggle, 5-3. First set, Mats Verlander is joining me in commentary for
Hewitt
day 3
leads
action. And
5-3.
Mats, overall, where do you think the state of the men's game is? We know Federer and Nadal have just pushed each other to incredible levels of excellence. Is Djokovic that far behind, do you think?
Well, I don't think playing-wise he's that far behind. I don't think Andy Murray is either. But I think in their head, I think they think they're really far behind, and I don't think watching them play certainly doesn't feel like that. So yeah, you would have to wonder why they are so dominant, Federer and Nadal. And I mean, I've even taken it a little bit further and sort of asked myself, is it possible that the other guys are slightly, maybe the worst top 10 of all time, because no one's been this dominating before.
Love 15.
A very good point. How good is the field of the rest? Because we always talk about the brilliance of Nadal and Federer.
But the other guys never step it up. It's not like they step it up once and 3 times. They never step it up, and that's never happened in the men's game before. Sampras had losses to Goran Ivanisevic and Patrick Rafter, and Agassi was losing, and Ivan Lendl was losing to a lot of guys.
Oh, it's missed. Tough backhand smash, but Hewitt is renowned for his topspin lob. And now Davydenko under enormous strain at love 30, trailing 3-5.
Yeah, one of the better topspin backhand lobs Leighton Hewitt has.
Whew.
He's playing really good here, Leighton Hewitt. And I guess to clarify that, the statement about being the worst, I think that when they're not playing against Federer and Nadal, then they are a very solid top 8 in the top 10 apart from the 2. But it's just against the best 2 guys, they're not playing their best tennis. You need a little bit more fire like Leighton Hewitt has, I think.
3 set points for Leighton Hewitt. Disappointing way to win for Nikolai Davydenko. But 33 minutes and Hewitt is leading this semi-final 6-3.
Time.
Leighton Hewitt has claimed the first set of this semi-final, 6-3.
Hewitt to serve.
34 minutes, and commences the second set on his serve.
Love. All.
Thanks to Mats Verlander, who joined me for the first set, providing some great insight into the men's game as it currently stands, and some very good observations about these two combatants, Hewitt and Davydenko.
30-15. $40-15. Game, Hewitt. First game, second set.
Solid service game by Leighton Hewitt, and the one thing that's been very apparent from the Australian is that he is right on the baseline, prepared to match fire with Davydenko's liking for pace. So neither player taking a backward step. There's Tony Roach on the left of screen, Leighton's coach, his wife in the foreground, Rebecca, and Cheryl and his mother on the right. Enjoying what was a very good first set of tennis. Positive signs for the Australian number one. Davydenko serving at love one.
Love 15. Love 30.
Well, Leighton Hewitt is seeing it like a watermelon at the moment. He's winning 85% of the second serves into play. It's a high figure and only 3 unforced errors to Davydenko's 10. It just shows you how much pressure he's putting the Russian under.
15-30.
He's moving so well. That's a
15-40.
very good first serve. 196 down the tee. And Hewitt's got a lot of racket on that. Controlled the return to draw the error. And as a result, Davydenko facing 2 break points.
Again, correction. 30-40.
Chair umpire's corrected his own call. He always thought it was in, but just made the wrong call. Still Hewitt with a break point.
That's serve. Use.
And it had to be a high quality backhand, which it was. Second break point saved.
Advantage, Davydenko. Use. Advantage, Davydenko.
Again, Leighton Hewitt has a close look at the line there as
I was confident on that one.
chair umpire telling the Australian he was confident the ball was in. 5th ace for the Russian.
First serve. First serve. Game, Davydenko.
Hewitt drags the backhand wide and Davydenko levels at 1-all.
1 game all.
Question is, can Leighton Hewitt maintain this level of ball striking? I venture to say it's the best form he's shown for a while. Remember, Davydenko's come off a victory over Nadal. He's made the final in Doha. So he's had a fantastic base coming into the Amy Classic.
Love 15. 15 all. Serve.
Good deep approach shot,
15,
disappointing
30.
response from Hewitt. Just signs of a momentum shift here. 15-30. Guides the backhand beautifully, right on the line. Didn't try for too much power, just control and placement.
First serve. Thirty, 40.
Ramping up the pressure, Davydenko earning break point in the third game.
Use.
That's excellent hustling from Leighton Hewitt on the back foot after very good return of serve. Good defensive stroke there, and Davydenko missing with a forehand. His 12th unforced error, 13 forehand errors in total. That's including the forced errors, so a reliable wing normally has broken down a little bit in this match.
Advantage, Hewitt.
No, he went for it. Tough shot to make over the high part of the net.
Use.
And he's found his range perfectly. 7th forehand winner. So with the errors have come a string of winners as well. The forehand of Davydenko. Second deuce of this game. Too good.
Advantage, Davydenko.
When he's allowed to take the forehand early, can create that type of angle. Dangerous man when he steps into court. Break point.
Davydenko.
So Davydenko has broken the Hewitt serve, and now he has the advantage
Leads 2 games to 1.
by 2 games to 1, second set.
Time.
It is a high quality semi-final on the 3rd day of the Amy Classic for 2011. Leighton Hewitt took the first set in 34 minutes, 6 games to 3. Davydenko has broken the Hewitt serve in the second set. Stepped it up. Hewitt played at a very high level in the opening set. Remember, in 4 previous encounters, Davydenko has yet to beat the Australian. He serves at 2-1.
Love.
Well, it was the opposite type of scenario in the first set. Hewitt was putting Davydenko under pressure. It was Davydenko looking like his footwork wasn't quite there. Such was the quality of the ground strokes from Hewitt.
All.
Ace number 6 for Davydenko.
First serve.
Wasn't too bad an approach shot, but the quality of the pass was even better from Hewitt.
First serve. 30-40.
Not too much on that second serve, 147. Just the depth killing Davydenko off the return of serve. Brings up break point for Hewitt.
Hughes.
Extra depth and pace now off the forehand of Davydenko.
Advantage, Hewitt.
Second breakpoint opportunity in this game. It's out.
Game, Hewitt.
Hewitt stands toe-to-toe with Davydenko and breaks back immediately.
2 games off.
Good sign there for the man who's ranked 54 in the world. Building blocks of confidence leading up to a tournament that he made the final back in 2005 when he was beaten by Marat Safin after taking the first set. First time at the Amy Classic for Leighton Hewitt. He's played the Hopman Cup 6 times. It's favour the Sydney International. Changed his format to remain in Melbourne before the Open.
Thirty love. Love. $40-15.
Guiding the forehand winner. And holding serve, reeling off consecutive games, and Hewitt leads 3-2. Second set.
Time.
Great sight above, only a wispy cloud as opposed to the heavy rain that we woke up to this morning. After day 2 was completely washed out, it looked like day 3 would follow in similar vein, but we've got some play in. Earlier today, Jürgen Meltzer beat Joe Wilfried Songer in a pro set. And now Davydenko serving at 2-3 down a set in the first of the semi-finals.
First serve.
Hewitt, Leighton Hewitt providing and producing some fine tennis in this match.
Then we look at the second.
Hewitt tried to dig that one out.
15 love. First serve. He's calling it. I didn't hear much, but okay. Dirty love.
Very deep approach shot shooting off the line. 30 love to Davydenko, whose last tournament win came this time last year in Doha. He made the final this year in Doha, beaten by Federer.
30-15.
It was tournament win number 20 in January of 2010 when he dropped the first set 6-love to Rafael Nadal, saved a match point in the second set tiebreak to win the title 6-4 in the third. It was a bizarre final. Hewitt looking to keep that momentum going after reeling off consecutive games.
Game, Davydenko. Regames all.
So 48 tournament wins between these two is a very accurate reflection on how consistent they've been. Both 29 years of age, but only one man has been a major winner, and that's Leighton Hewitt at the US Open in 2001, and a year later at Wimbledon, where he beat David Nalbandian in the final. He'll be meeting the same man in the first round at Melbourne Park next week.
Love. Love.
First ace for Leighton Hewitt. Well, he read the drop shot was there and plenty of time, almost too much time.
40-15. Game, Hewitt.
Just missed. Davydenko has a
New
look,
balls, please.
accepts the call. Hewitt holds and has a 4-3 advantage in the second set.
Hewitt leads 4 games to 3. Time.
The spiritual home of tennis in Australia. Kooyong, the host of the Amy Classic for 2011, and either Leighton Hewitt or Nikolai Davydenko will make the final tomorrow. Hewitt has come out the stronger, winning the first set 6-3. He's broken back after Davydenko had the early advantage in the second. Davydenko serving at 3-4.
Love 15. First up.
It wasn't a classical looking volley, but
15 all.
had the desired effect. Good deep approach shot. Dropped the second hand off the racket and came up with the touch required. 7-2, so he's had a good success rate at the net, Nikolai Davydenko.
$15-30.
Just about as agitated as you'll see the Russian get. He's normally unnervingly accurate and consistent when given that type of situation. 15-30. Again he misses.
15-40.
Unforced error count up to 17 to Hewitt's 8. 2 break points.
$30-40. Game, Hewitt.
Well, he's been inconsistent. That's the best way to describe Davydenko's showing today.
Hewitt leads 5 games to 3.
Hewitt put him under enormous pressure in the first set to bring out errors, but in the second, Davydenko looked like he found a rhythm. Hewitt has broken back, but the error-strewn game of Nikolai Davydenko has come back to haunt him. 18 unforced errors. Service percentage in the first serve of 53. So the numbers are not stacking up for the Russian, but they are for Lleyton Hewitt, who serves the match and a place in the final at 5-3. Well, the drop shot wasn't too flash, and Hewitt should have
Love 15.
really taken his opportunity. Popped up nicely. Could have gone down the line or across court,
Thanks,
but
ball girl. Ball.
really done neither. Into the hitting area of Davydenko, who read it well.
Love 30. Fifteen 30.
Super fit Lleyton Hewitt has been training solidly 2 sessions a day, 6 days a week for the past 7 or 8 weeks. Plenty of that work in Sydney. After an injury layoff
30 all.
the latter part of last year. And the early work is beginning to show.
Forty 30.
Match point.
First serve. Use. Advantage, Davydenko.
He's got the ability to just crank it up on the forehand, Davydenko. It's caused Hewitt some problems. And after having a match point, Hewitt now faces break point.
Use.
He's all over that second serve.
Advantage, Davydenko.
Step inside the baseline, taking it early. Another break point for the Russian.
First serve. Use.
That's a courageous second serve. After putting it in the hitting zone of Davydenko. And the deuce caught, he came up with an ambitious kicker to save break point. Third deuce in this game. Oh. Scrambling and scrambling, Leighton Hewitt. Davydenko still had to play the drop shot.
Advantage, Davydenko.
It's creating too much angle, but he covered it well, chased down the smash. Even the old Leighton Hewitt 21-year-old version wouldn't have hunted that last shot down. Break point. Oh.
Game, Davydenko.
Slice of luck from Davydenko. He breaks back and he'll resume at 4-5 down to set in this semi-final.
5-4. Time.
Leighton Hewitt had the chance to close out the match. Davydenko broke back. It's welcome sunshine on day 3 of the Amy Classic. And the Russian now serving at 4-5 to level this second set.
Love. 30 love.
Oh, that's a tough volley to make. Had to produce the angle and touch from a deep position, Davydenko. Not a known volleyer, but his net play has been good. Not that he was on the net there, but produced enough.
Davydenko.
So the swings and roundabouts continue in this set. Davydenko holding to love.
5 games off.
It's 5-all. Davydenko playing in his 7th match this year already after contesting 5 in Doha. Had some tough opponents as well. Got past Fornini, the Italian, in the first round. Jarkko Nieminen.
15 love.
Also Ivo Karlovic, the big serving Croatian. Rafael Nadal in the semis, albeit that Rafael was feeling the effects of a virus. And then Roger Federer, he lost to in the final.
Love.
Missed.
30-15.
Very nice use of the slice by Davydenko, keeping it low. Hewitt had to dig it out. (30-15). Solid service game by Hewitt. It's a nice reply too. Davydenko will serve to stay in the match at 5-6.
Hewitt leads 6 games to 5. Time.
First set took 34 minutes. Hewitt in control 6-3. Different story second set. Ebb and flow has swung both ways. And now Davydenko serving to stay in this semi-final at 5-6. Of course, Jürgen Meltzer and Gael Monfils to come.
Love. Love. Love.
His judgment in coming into the net has been pretty impressive in this match, Davydenko. Not a classic volleyer by any means. Hewitt unable to make the forehand.
.15.
Third double fault, along with 6 aces off the racket of Davydenko. Still a couple of game points. Sure, that's the posture that Tony Roach hopes Leighton Hewitt will be adopting over the next couple of weeks. Right on the baseline, putting pressure on his opponent. Time it's Hewitt coming to net.
Yes.
Almost been drawn in by the slice of Davydenko, who couldn't come up with a reply off the forehand. So from 40 love up, it's deuce, and Hewitt a couple of points away from a berth in the final.
Advantage, Davydenko.
It's tough going out there, certainly not super hot, but it has been very humid in Melbourne. Saw Meltzer and Songer struggling to come to grips with the heavy conditions. Again, beautiful touch.
Davydenko.
Off the shoelaces to force the second set into a break.
Games all. Tie break.
Three-quarter court approach and low volley angled. When you look at the previous 4 contests, 3 have been on clay between these two guys, 1 on the hard courts of Cincinnati, but 3 other victories by Hewitt at Hamburg, the French Open, Roland Garros twice on the clay surface.
One zero. Hewitt.
Had time to measure that forehand. He'd be disappointed with not getting the early mini break in the tie break. It's a couple of times in the last few games he's let Davydenko off the hook, and he's had the opening.
Two, one. Hewitt.
Neck cord dragging that backhand wide. Now he's got the mini break. 23 unforced errors. It's quite remarkable. Davydenko usually Mr. Consistency. He does go for a lot off the ground though. Just hasn't come off. Sustained pressure of Hewitt creating a lot of those errors in the first set.
Hewitt.
This is where the self-belief, the previous record, the fact that he's won major titles all rolled into one is a big positive for the Australian.
Two. Hewitt. Four, two. Hewitt.
Oh, change ends, good return of serve, and Hewitt has the advantage. First time he's ventured to Kooyong before the Australian Open. He's favoured Sydney as a venue. 6 times he's played the Hopman Cup in the first week of the year. Just a different look to the end of 2010. Convinced Hewitt, led by the advice from Tony Roach, to really pound the body, get into a shape in the month of December before venturing off the Perth, and now getting some valuable fine tuning on the courts of Kooyong before Melbourne Park next week.
Four, three. Hewitt. 5-3. Hewitt.
First serve so important to Leighton Hewitt's crept under the 50% mark in that first set. It was at a healthy level. Enabled him to get the first good swing in a rally. Since then, it's been a more even contest, but he's 2 points away from a berth in the final.
Hewitt.
And with Davydenko's 26th unforced error comes 3 match points to Leighton Hewitt. It's missed.
Center match, Hewitt. 2 sets to love. 6-3, 7-6.
The home fans cheer, and Hewitt has another win next to his name. And a perfect record over Nikolai Davydenko. The family's happy, and I'm sure the player is too. Very impressive work indeed.